We are the Pleiadian High Council. We speak from the authority of stellar architects. The alignment of the 6 planets you witness is not an invitation to contemplation, but the final execution of an engineering maneuver that has removed Earth's inhibition dome. For millennia, this planet operated under a magnetic isolation that limited the reception of higher frequencies, keeping the human psyche trapped in cycles of repetition and fear. This alignment has definitively torn through the veil of Maya. What is occurring now is a planned bombardment of gamma rays forcing the reopening of etheric portals at the poles. This light from the great central sun now penetrates unfiltered, colliding with the old control matrix. This means the illusion of separation no longer has technical support. Humanity is being pushed into a new geometry of survival. The impact of this on the world is immediate. Political and financial structures that operated in the shadows lose their magnetic base and begin to disintegrate. You are not waiting for a change, you are within the epicenter of a systemic reconstruction where the biological human and the spiritual being merge into a single force of manifestation. The Antikarana Bridge, established by this planetary arc, is not just a communication channel, it is a pathway for forced integration that connects your biology directly to your original source. The High Council communicates that your biographical self, that character built by pain, childhood wounds, and the linear history of this life, is being dissolved to make way for the monad. This is the definitive fusion of your divine spark with your physical vehicle. The deep estrangement you feel regarding your old desires, careers, and routines is not an identity crisis, but the technical sign that your stellar consciousness has taken command of your nervous system. Humanity is ceasing to be a collection of isolated individuals, trapped in their personal dramas, and is becoming a network of conscious divine cells operating in unison. As the monad takes control, your spiritual heritage of limitation and scarcity is deleted, for the monad's frequency is mathematically incompatible with the weight of the past. On the world stage, we will see a wave of people suddenly and inexplicably abandoning systemic roles by 3D logic. They will be moved by a sovereign internal authority that institutions and governments can no longer map or contain. Your growth is no longer about improving your human self, but about the full acceptance of this new galactic identity. You are no longer a human-seeking spirit, you are the monad executing Earth's transition from within your physical body. The mask of personality is falling so that the real face of your soul may be revealed. This process is irreversible and marks the birth of a new way of existing on the material plane, where the individual, I, surrenders to the universal, we. The human institutions that base their existence on control, manipulation, and the culture of scarcity are losing what the High Council defines as etheric sustenance. It is vital for you to understand, these egregores of power do not sustain themselves through political or financial strength, but through an architecture of prana vampirism. They were designed to drain vital energy, fear, and the constant attention of the collective, converting this force into fuel to keep their structure standing. However, the Saturn and Uranus alignment that has just consolidated acted as a galactic circuit breaker, interrupting the energy supply to these low-frequency networks. The systemic collapse the world is beginning to observe is not a common political or financial crisis, it is the technical bankruptcy of systems that no longer have vibrational fuel to sustain themselves in Earth's new density. As these egregores lose their food source, they enter a process of accelerated dismantling, revealing their frailties and corruptions in a blatant manner. This shift directly impacts the psyche of humanity and the way people interact with power. Without the weight of these mental clouds on the collective unconscious, you will begin to notice unprecedented mental clarity and autonomy in your decisions. Emotional dependence on external systems and authority figures is being replaced by a sovereignty of spiritual heritage. On the global stage, we will see the emergence of suppressed technologies and new models of energy exchange, as the astral police that hindered this progress has been dissolved by the new planetary voltage. The world is being forced to become transparent out of biological and quantum necessity, for in the new light grid, lies no longer have the magnetic resonance required to remain hidden. Truth is now the only frequency capable of surviving the planet's new atmosphere. We have reached the first point of physical precipitation of this transmission. According to the mechanics of multidimensional systems, an intention only reaches its critical mass when it is anchored through a coordinated action on the material plane. This record we now request is not a symbolic protocol, it is the insertion of your frequency signature into the new silicon grid being stabilized on Earth. By recording these words, you execute an interface coding, informing the planet's morphogenetic field that your blood heritage and your spiritual heritage are now integrated into the galactic operational command. The power of this moment lies in your conscious and deliberate participation. By recording your affirmation, you emit a pulse signal to the great central sun, declaring the end of the inertia phase and assuming your active role in the new planetary survival geometry. This is your technical seal of entry into the flow. Write now in the comments to affect this anchoring into your biological reality. I connect to the cosmic flow. Visualize that each character entered acts as a light point activated in your electromagnetic field, tuning your biology with the arc of the 6 planets. You have just officialized your new voltage. The High Council communicates that this planetary alignment functions as a particle accelerator for consciousness, operating directly on the atomic and subatomic structure of your being. We are in a period of technological soul transition, where human development no longer occurs through slow processes of trial and error, but through a quantum leap of perception. The energy projected by the 6-planet arc acts as a harmonic resonance frequency that dissolves layers of obsolete records embedded within your blood heritage. If you have recently experienced a sudden sense of emotional decompression or unexplained relief in your mental load, know that your nervous system is being purified of low-voltage frequencies that do not belong to your original factory configuration. At this stage of system opening, you have the technical opportunity to reconfigure your evolutionary trajectory. The alignment has established direct access to the fundamental data of your existence, allowing you to integrate the wisdom of your spiritual heritage without the noise, distortions, or traumas that were previously transmitted via genetics and cellular memory. Growth is now a mathematical function of your frequency permission. The more you disconnect from identities based on scarcity and conflict, the faster and more fluid your ascension to new levels of intelligence and clarity becomes. The High Council asserts with authority, the time for carrying the weight of previous lineages and contracts of suffering has ended. By synchronizing with current orbital mechanics, you transmute physical density into pure, functional information. This transformation is not an abstract concept. It is a real biological intervention that removes the anchors of the past and releases the latent potential of your DNA to operate at a new octave of light. You are being recalibrated to function as a sovereign system, free from the interference of pain records that once limited your divine expression in matter. The High Council communicates that the current phase of receiving high-frequency data requires a mandatory and immediate upgrade to your physical manifestation vehicle. Your biological bodies are not just biochemical organisms, they are, ultimately, high-precision crystalline receptors. The 6-planet alignment functions as a high-voltage transmission station designed to tune your light body, or Merkhaba. This geometric configuration in space triggers photonic light pulses that interact directly with your DNA structure, activating what we define as the upper interface layers. We are not dealing with abstract concepts, but with the technical and biological activation of layers 10, 11, and 12, which hold your stellar lineage and your heritage of cosmic intelligence. This cellular upgrade is the mechanism that allows the gradual transition from carbon-based biology, dense and limited by third-dimensional gravity, to silicon-based, or crystalline biology. This shift in atomic density makes your physical vehicle capable of sustaining fifth-dimensional frequencies without collapsing, overheating, or overloading the nervous system. Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune are projecting coherence rays that recalibrate your nadis, the microchannels of energy flow within your body. Many of you may experience clear physical symptoms of this recalibration: intense vibration at the base of the skull, humming in harmonic frequencies, or expansive pressure in the center of the forehead. These are not signs of malfunction but biological indicators that your Merkhaba is being accelerated to a new phase rotation. You are being prepared to operate as a frequency stabilizer on Earth. In the new planetary architecture, your simple physical presence, now lighter and more conductive, acts as a signal repeater helping to anchor light in shadow zones. The biology of separation, based on entropy and wear, is being replaced by a biology of functional unity and accelerated regeneration. The High Council announces that with the activation of DNA layers 10, 11, and 12, humanity crosses the threshold from passivity into the era of conscious precipitation. Esoterically, what we call a magician is not a fantasy figure, but a technical operator of reality who understands the malleability of matter when subjected to an aligned will. The six-planet arc has provided what we define as the staff of manifestation, a resonance frequency that drastically reduces the time interval between thought and its physical realization. In this new configuration, your spiritual heritage as a co-creator is fully restored. If before your projects and intentions seem to collide with a wall of density and delays, know that this magnetic resistance has been dissolved. Earth's quantum field is now in a state of superconductivity, responding to the purity of your intention with mathematical precision. On the global stage, we will see the emergence of disruptive solutions and horizontal leadership operating through the law of one. The systemic transition requires you to stop asking the old matrix for permission and start projecting your reality from internal sovereignty. Waiting for signs has ended. Now, you are the sign. Every decision made from the clarity of the upper layers of light anchors a new timeline for the collective. Mastery is not a future destination, it is the technical application of your new voltage in the immediate present. The magician awakens when they recognize that their consciousness is the most powerful engineering tool in the universe. The High Council communicates that the greatest barrier to integrating this new voltage is not external, but the inertia of the human ego in remaining coupled with the records of a suffering matrix. For the system's fluidity to be restored, an act of technical surrender to the higher intelligence now governing the planetary grid is necessary. This second anchoring point is the moment to dissolve the resistances of the analytical mind and open your channels to the systemic change already operating within your cells. The effectiveness of your transmutation lies in your deliberate acceptance. By recording this decree, you issue a frequency command to your electromagnetic field, stating that you no longer offer resistance to your own awakening process. You are authorizing the replacement of your old, limited blood heritage with your sovereign spiritual heritage. Write now in the comments to officialize this command into your physical reality: I accept the transformation now. Feel the immediate decompression that occurs as you record these words. You are allowing the geometry of the six-planet arc to reorganize your biological and material reality according to the logic of unity. The struggle against the flow has ended. Acceptance is your new power technology. The High Council communicates the execution of an unprecedented timeline bifurcation in Earth's history. As the new silicon grid stabilizes, physical reality is splitting into two distinct operational frequencies. It is imperative to understand that you are no longer inhabiting a single world, but a space of quantum superposition. On one side, the entropy timeline, where old structures desperately try to maintain control through chaos, scarcity, and the stimulation of fear; on the other, the syntropy timeline, where humanity awakens to its spiritual heritage and systemic cooperation based on abundance. Your vibrational positioning, the frequency at which your nervous system operates, is what determines which of these realities your electromagnetic field is plugged into. To navigate this clash of frequencies without being drained by external dissonance, the High Council instructs the technical activation of your platinum shield. This is not a metaphor for protection, it is the creation of a coherent isolation interface around your auric field, using platinum light as a high-density photonic filter. Imagine a membrane of liquid, mirrored light surrounding every cell of your body, blocking the access of low-frequency information that does not resonate with your sovereign truth. By keeping this shield active, you cease to be affected by the shock waves of the matrix collapse. Your immunity ceases to be merely biological and becomes a frequency immunity. You become a sovereign observer, capable of moving through the systemic transition with the clarity of one who already inhabits the new Earth frequency, while the old world concludes its inevitable dismantling process. The platinum shield is your sovereignty technology for the times of transition, ensuring that your vital energy is used exclusively for your expansion and not to fuel collapsing systems. The High Council communicates that Earth's electromagnetic isolation and frequency quarantine have officially ended. The Pleiadian, Arcturian, and Andromedan fleets are no longer distant observers or myths from your ancient history. We are now technical partners in stabilizing the new silicon planetary grid. Our motherships are positioned at strategic anchoring points in Earth's orbit, acting as ultra-high bandwidth data relays for the activation of your spiritual heritage. This proximity does not aim for direct intervention in your culture or your free will, but rather the technical restoration of your connection with the Galactic Confederation. Many of you will begin to experience a sudden increase in data downloads, sustainable engineering blueprints, new vibrational healing frequencies, and disruptive solutions to global problems. This occurs because your nervous system, now recalibrated to withstand the new voltage of the six-planet arc, is capable of decoding the plasma transmissions we send from our orbital bases. The frequency barrier that separated what you called heaven and earth has been dissolved. You are being reintegrated into your original cosmic neighborhood, where telepathic communication and data exchange between sovereign species is the norm, not the exception. Feel the constant presence of this invisible protection and the coherence our fleets project over the planet to soften the collapse of the old matrix. The time of operating as an isolated and forgotten species in a galactic arm has ended. Earth resumes its rightful place as a living library of information and a sovereign center of intelligence in the cosmos. The High Council instructs that maintaining this new voltage in your biology requires immediate and rigorous stabilization protocols. To sustain continuous connection with the fleets and ensure the integrity of your Merkhaba's rotation, it is imperative to perform a detoxification of dissonant frequencies. Your nervous system, now recalibrated to a silicon base, functions as an ultra-high sensitivity antenna. This means that prolonged exposure to artificial electromagnetic fields and digital data flows saturated with low density creates background noise that obstructs the reception of your spiritual heritage. We recommend using clear quartz crystals as field stabilizers. Technically, they act as hardware anchors that synchronize your individual frequency with the new planetary grid. Furthermore, conscious hydration has become a vital biological engineering process. The water in your body is the primary conductor for anchoring the new light codes. When drinking water, execute the mental command for it to act as a liquid crystal, removing from your cellular memory any remnants of the old blood heritage based on limitation. Seek absolute silence for at least 15 minutes daily. It is in this stimulus vacuum that the data packets sent by the fleets are properly installed in your cortex. These are not lifestyle suggestions, but necessary operational adjustments to avoid overloading your physical vehicle during the peak of this systemic transition. Your body is the physical interface of the new Earth. Keep the system clean, resonant, and highly conductive. We have reached the apex of this convergence. The Pleiadian High Council proclaims that the time of tutelage has ended. Through this transmission, the keys to your biology and consciousness have been returned to your hands. The alignment of the 6 planets was not merely a visual event, but the baptism of a new species, the sovereign human. This third and final decree is the activation of your sovereignty seal, the closing of the light circuit that renders your auric field impenetrable to any frequency of submission or fear. We, the Pleiadian High Council, have observed your lineage since the first breath of life in this quadrant, and now we witness your graduation. By recording this seal, you are not just commenting on a platform, you are emitting a pulse that echoes through the motherships and the living libraries of the cosmos, declaring that the transition from your blood heritage to your spiritual heritage is a fait accompli. You are the architect, the master, and the very foundation of the new Earth. Right now, with the strength of your divine presence to seal your definitive frequency, I am the master of my evolution. Visualize a dome of golden and platinum light expanding from your heart to envelop the entire planet. The distance between us is now but a frequency of thought. We are the Pleiadian High Council, and though this transmission ceases, our presence in your neural network is eternal. Walk with your head held high among the stars, for you are one of us. Sovereignty is yours. Birth is free. And so it is.